Jedediah here with Mesa Media Productions, and we are at the New South Park in Cortez, and it is September the 18th, and we are planning to find out, how far we've come in the last month with plans for the New South Park. So I'll be here getting some interviews and mingling and making people nervous with cameras. No, just kidding. So we got a few cameras up, as you can see. You can watch the demolition going on over there. When Dean shows up, we'll get a closer idea of when they're going to be done. We got a kids area here. They got blocks and Jenga. They're hanging out, and they're going to be cooking some burgers here soon. And I'll take you through the walkthrough. And look at the new plans, stuff that we've come up with in the last month. And so it should be some fun.
Thanks, Jedediah. Hey, everybody at home. So our thought is I'm going to actually take you right now over to our two design options that we are presenting this evening, and use a lot of flowery, designy language and try and present those and talk a little bit about how we arrived at our two different design solutions. So come on this way. All right, we'll talk a little bit about design option A. So design option A we're calling the geometric and dispersed option. So our inspiration for the design option, our first design option, centered around the idea of a campus and a quad and how you take different program elements and entry points, a lot of multiple entry points, and how do they all come together in a space. And so that's how we arrived at the geometric option. So we have all these different entry points, say like the corner of Oak Street, the corner of Oak and 7th and potentially where a new street, Elm, might extend all the way through to 7th. Across from one of the heavily populated parks and residential areas across from the park, right? And there's a driveway there that enters the park, say, on the south side. So the idea was we had all these really key entry points, and we wanted to give each of those entry points an identity as you came into the park, and kind of a direct circulation into the area, into the space, and connect each of these program elements in a more geometric way. So if you zoom in a little bit on some of the imagery, this is kind of the thought, where it's direct, it might be integrated with seating, it creates some really strong geometries and lines in the spaces that it creates. So you can see that identified in the park a little bit. And here we have every age group, by the way, today, having shown up in the last couple of hours already, voting for some of these images and some of the ideas that resonate out of those images. And so we did colored dots for all the different demographics. So that's just a side note. So in option number A, letter A, we have the same program elements in A and B. So we have things like a skate park, our sand volleyball, an obstacle course for all different ages, a more structured playground, a more natural playground that transitions into a little bike park area. And then really one of the focal points is the idea of a football / multi-use open space. So open grassy area. It might be football, it might just be frisbee when nobody's playing football and it's not football season. The ability, so each of these entry points has that kind of identity. So this one might identify a little bit with the football, but it transitions straight into the park and all of these other elements. Some of these areas are softer, say ground cover, lots of tree cover, little more structured with the trees. Now this option has off-street parking, really key element to the park space. We've got to make sure that all of the usage is not a burden on the neighborhood surrounding, and so we've got off-street parking. We also have on-street parking on the edges of the park. So that's design option A. And design option B is over here, and we're calling the organic and condensed. By organic, we describe this as a little more flowing. The trails are a little more curvilinear. They tend to wander around the space a little more. We still have strong entry points at all of our key places that we described in option A. Parking, off-street parking is off of Elm. Many of the program elements in option B are very condensed. So here's the parking, and you transition right into a lot of activity. 2 playgrounds, a little safety biking track. Looks a little bit like this image here, if you want to zoom in on that. Little kids, striders, all the way up to a little bit bigger. They're coming here to actually kind of learn how to ride on the street. 2 playgrounds, one potentially more structured, the other a little bit more natural. This might transition, again, into a more off-trail kids bike area. We have the same football transitioning into multi-use space, and then over on the side, the sand volleyball. Picnic pavilions in this one kind of move around the park, although there's one main pavilion here that would be a focal point, a gathering spot, and also have the restrooms. And then at the very end, both options, somewhat separated, have the skate park, and this actually has the option for an adjacent, a little bit higher skill level bike park. So that's usually paved, kind of a flow track type approach. So this is really kind of meeting the need of some of our teens and what they've described that they want to come and gather and play. So this one, more organic, more flowy, still has the entrances, kind of a softer approach to how you move around the park. So those are our 2 options. And tonight what we're doing is, so if you watch at home and you get really excited and you want to come out, we have poker chips. So everybody who shows up gets 1 poker chip, and we have these sweet little boxes. So at the end of the day, you have a lot of feedback on the imagery, but you get to make 1 vote and 1 choice. And so that helps us see, when we put everything all together, which design option wins at the end of the day, but also which elements from the imagery really resonate with the group. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was so much more valuable than me trying to explain it. So it's good to have you guys out here, and thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. It's been great. The fun part about the poker chips is that
thank you.
we can exactly track who we have showing up tonight. So a huge success factor would be if we ran out of poker chips.
Yeah.
So that would mean over 200 people showed up. So
Right.
that would be a really great thing.
That would be cool. Well, I was just surprised to see how many, surveys were taken, and all the information is just really put together really well.
Yeah, we've been really excited with the turnout. So we had over 300. We had 321 online surveys, and we had somewhere between 80 and 100 show up at our last open house that you were at streaming. So that's phenomenal. That is a lot of data points and a lot of community input that we've been really excited by.
And that's important. I know you guys, that's why we're doing it, is the public opinion. We're really striving for that. So.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of what gets identified here is going to make this park be owned by the community and have it be of the community. And a lot of the reason that we put together this kind of approach where there's 2 different design options is to really get people thinking, start thinking outside of the box. What does neighborhood identity really mean? And so the images and the 2 design options try to kind of eke out a little bit of that thought process from everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks. We appreciate it. And the food's firing up, so.
Cool. I can smell it.
I know.
Thank you, Heather. Awesome.
So this is the entire park here. Stops at Elm Street. Elm Street would be brought through all the way down, and then this would be only this area from Elm Street on this way. This is the feedback that we've gotten from the community at the last public open house in the survey. We took that information and we created these 2 design options. So that chip is to place in the box, whichever one you like. So it's like 1, 2, 3 streets down, I think. It's going to come all
You guys interested in sharing your opinions
down the
with the rest of the world?
Okay, I am.
Sure. Why don't you introduce yourself? And
Okay. You want? I got to hold this, or are you gonna?
yeah,
hold
you can hold it.
No, you can hold it.
Place your chip in the box if you like any of the pictures from either option.
Hello, I'm Ted Hawkins, and I've lived here. Oops. Hello, I'm Ted Hawkins, and I've lived here in Cortez since 1979. And for the past 5 years, I've lived across the street from the high school. And I would really love to have this turn into a nice park for the children. The trailer park across the street to be able to come to and safely play. You know.
Yeah.
And, you know, after all, too, though, there's running water underneath there, water lines, everything else. So if you ask me, it would behoove whoever's going to build it right now to go ahead and throw in that waterworks part of the park, you know. I mean, kids would love it. And I would love it, too. I could come over here and read a book in the shade. It's a lot cooler than my trailer.
Absolutely.
You know, but it's about time. It really is, you know. And I'm really glad to see this progress being made. Thank you. And I did not vote for Trump.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. Good job, you too, bud. We got to show some burgers here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
Dean, I heard you got volunteered.
What's that?
I heard you got volunteered for cooking.
Sounds like, yeah, when we
That makes two of us.
Oh, there's two of us. Yeah.
we had a no-show, so
Oh.
we're filling in. So.
I'm surprised you guys aren't chasing the shade. Like, right over there, there's some shade.
We should have looked at the calendar. Well, actually, they did move some over there.
Yeah.
Yep, paper towels anywhere. We had a lemonade go.
Oh, just ask them on the other side.
Oh yeah, those look like some yummy burgers.
Slowly but surely.
People are enjoying themselves. There's Charlene, there's Kathy, there's Edie, there's Priscilla. Man, I know all sorts of people here. Hey, there's Alan. There's Pastor Jeff. Sandra. Yeah.
I've got a meeting from 6 to 7, but Thursday, and then we'll go to eat.
I need an interview with Maverick.
Right. Here we are.
Maverick,
There's not a dog park here.
tell us what you
Right
think.
next.
Thanks, Maverick.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. How you doing, Pastor Jeff?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man.
We're doing good. Chilling down here, buddy.
How was your vacay? You went somewhere, didn't you?
My mom had a stroke, so I went to Iowa
Oh,
to be with her. But she's recovering.
okay,
It was those. She had 2 little TIA strokes.
okay.
She's gonna make it.
Oh,
You good?
she's recovering. Good.
She's got
Well,
blood
praise the Lord.
We're good. You?
Okay, cool.
Keep it up, bro. Bless you.
Thank you, sir.
You're awesome, man. Your testimony on that.
I am.
Serious.
God's good.
God bless you.
Yes. Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Yeah? And smiling faces, that's awesome. That's always a good thing. What's your favorite name yet?
I don't know. I kind of like Southside or 7th
Southside?
Street Park, but he thinks going with Cortez.
Keep it consistent.
Consistency.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard a couple of South Parks. That's like, okay. Yeah. Seems to be the yeah.
Old School Park. That makes sense.
South Park, Colorado. Yeah. So, I'll let you watch a little bit of demolition here while we wait for Dean.
I didn't remember his name, so I did Google who founded it. And I said, most of my family's been here recovering. And I said, but I haven't been, so I'm not.
How are you doing? So where do we start? Down here?
Actually, I think
We start on here. So start this way and go all the way around.
it's sort of the beginning, like the base site, and then feedback they got at the last
Okay.
meeting. Conceptual designs. That
Okay.
came out of that.
So I'll walk you through here in a minute. And looks like I don't see Dean yet, so I'll kind of take the reins on that. Yo, bro.
Hey, there's a neighbor I recognize.
Play sculptures. How are you? I love that.
A beautiful carousel.
What's up, Papa Steve?
Oh, Drum Narrow Park, yeah.
I happen to know what that gentleman over there's last name is.
No, I don't.
Because he looks so much like a teacher. I knew what Dolores said.
Yeah.
It's almost
Follow, rate flow is based off of like survey fields and then also needs that were identified in our master plan. So both are really kind of coming out and you see all of these features that really like goes to the top of the survey or the master plan reflected in the next two designs.
Oh, okay.
So there's two designs and you kind of get to vote which one you want and look at the features of them. And the last board is actually named, but there's kind of a little wording from Josh. I'm gonna go check in with Rose and see if she connected with Dean about food. But
Okay, cool.
I think both of the designs, I think that the group did a really good job.
So I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. It looks like some of the information here is pretty thorough. You know, they have the survey online that you can take. You go to the city's website and you can log in and take a survey on this. And they have some information up here, lots of statistics on what that survey came up with. And there was a lot of people, I think there were over 400 people or something that took the survey. So a lot of good information to be had, and I'll walk you through here. So this first board is opportunities and constraints. And you can kind of get the overall sight of it. And I see a couple of sticky notes up here. Here's some personal information from the residents around here. It says, I'm a homeowner on South Elm Street. I greatly concerned about the street being extended through the park. Since the school has closed and the fence is not secure, foot traffic and theft has increased on our street. With the extension, it will increase traffic on our very quiet street. Additional theft will likely continue to increase. I am very much not in favor of the Elm Street being extended. So let's see if we can see Elm Street here. Ah, I see. Elm Street's right there. Interesting. So there's a bike lane down there, which is kind of what we already have, so. Interesting.
This is the new addition. It's from Dot. Yeah, Dot. The poster.
You're under a canopy. I don't know if you need to.
Thank you for I'm gonna do this first. The pergola.
So that would go around that.
I don't try. I lasted 3 days. I need some puppies. Oh, structured beauty.
Oh, okay.
Hi, you must get a lot of attention with this dog.
She's just her first day with me, so she's real shy. I'm not sure what this means. So this is I got one out. And so that's yeah. And this is what
So this next board, survey feedback, input analysis from the community, survey and public open house number 1, which was last month. I'll read it to you. The City of Cortez is developing a master plan for the new park at the site of the old Montezuma Cortez High School. A critical component of this planning phase is public input. That's you, everybody. To gather ideas from the public and create a vision for this new park, the city will, together with Connect One Design, compose a community survey and organize a public open house. The survey and open house were formatted similarly so that the information can be weighed equally across both input methods. The following boards illustrate the information gathered from the survey and open house. They provide a guided set of data to move the master plan forward into the design phase. So the highest ranked desires and experiences based on the surveys, obviously number 1 is safety right here. Looks like it's leading the way. Folks want it to be active, and they want lots of nature. They want it to be outdoorsy, social, gathering, all the way down there. And let's see, the green is the open house responses, and the yellow is the online responses.
I think they're differentiating part. You're going to have to provide.
Okay, so there's the total number of surveys online, which was close to 329. The open house had 92.
These are all people I work with, and I encourage them to come to this. But last meeting, and so they're going to housing, all those homeless people up there are going to move down there. And they'd obviously talked about it because all 3 of them were in agreement. Co-workers.
yeah, but I mean they didn't hear it from someone.
No, they just heard about the new part.
This is really interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I actually
Did you get your chip?
What do you know, Mom?
Name them all with res.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of good information here. Pretty thorough.
We came to see if there was a dog park. But
She was
apparently,
commenting on the. Are you recording? Someone was commenting on the through Elm Street there,
Yeah.
and
I
the
read that.
negative aspects for them because they are in a in a housing area where there's not as much, and I get that through traffic there, and then
Right.
the low-income
Right.
housing there, and then their increased crime and etc. So
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if that'll fly or not.
yeah, it remains to be seen, but you know you cannot not have playground area.
Right.
It's always good for a city,
Right.
always.
Right.
And nobody will all think alike. Everybody's got their ideas. They'll come to the best possible solution, and we'll make it work.
Yeah, you can't please everybody all the time. But I'm still pretty impressed with, how much information they have and the statistics. They're really doing a good job.
Tree shade, yay! Picnic tables, restrooms, and hopefully the community will care about it and keep
Right.
it
That's
nice.
right. Even I wish they would have went to this extent with the medians. But whatever.
Well, maybe they did, and we just didn't.
Well, maybe they learned from the medians, and that's why they're doing this really good
Yes. Overview.
presentation,
Yes.
overview, and public input.
Because they're really trying to.
Yeah. So kudos, City of Cortez.
Yes.
Would you like a chip?
So this second poster board here
going through anything to put.
is the survey feedback. The programming and themes, the recreational needs of the community can vary largely across its constituents. To ensure that no idea or direction was overlooked, participants were able to freestyle their thoughts for the park, either through text on the survey or a word bubble diagram at the open house. The results can be viewed below. Park program desirability. Trees, number 1. Picnic tables, yes. Restrooms, artificial shade shelters, exercise path, walking, jogging, multi-purpose open lawn space.
That's so
You know, I'm seeing, down there at the minimal, there's outdoor market space, a bike playground, dog park's pretty minimal as well. And then going back into the negative average scores, baseball, softball facility, youth football facility, and street course skate park. That's pretty interesting. A 4-block radius park program desirability. This is the survey and open house. It kind of echoes the same thing over here with what's desired. Proposed program. Hi, Rachel. Proposed program elements: toddlers, natural play area, outdoor learning and space, boulder scramble, splash features. Yeah, I think that sounds great. The seniors, they'd like their exercise pods, their walking, jogging trails, multi-purpose field, and lawn games. I'll tell you what, those lawn games are pretty cool. Check out these kids over here. They're just having a ball over there. They got life-size Jenga and the simplicity,
So I'll just
So
you have here, this right here is all of them.
families, they're wanting to see, tree shade, picnic tables, restrooms, artificial shade. Some of the same stuff we read on this survey feedback here.
Vote for either option. Place it in the box.
One of the smallest bubbles are the organized sports teams, youth football and multi-purpose lawn. Teens would like to see challenge course, multi-purpose field, lawn games, outdoor climbing wall, an art graffiti chalk wall. Yeah, give them something to draw on so that they don't do it illegally. I like that.
We'll get feedback from that, based on the public's response as to what they really are gravitating towards image-wise.
So, hey.
They have all the same program, but it's just the layout and the massing of the program. Like this one, it's kind of dispersed, right. And that one, it's clustered. The play areas are kind of dense and clustered. It's kind of funny. We were going through some of the options initially, and
going back to the park design. It looks like we have option A here. They do have a place right down here for you to vote. Place your chip into the box of your preferred option. So I think they have a couple different chips. Maybe A and B. I see an A. Where's the B? Oh, there's the B down there. Okay. We'll get to that.
If you want this one right here, use those tags right there.
Hi guys. Did you guys get voting chips? Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, just let us know.
So again, this board here gives the public an opportunity to place their stickers on activities that they'd like to see. How you doing, John? You have any comments on the South Park here? No? Okay. I'm impressed. I was just giving kudos to the city on the extent that they've done here, asking for the public's opinion and just providing all this information. It's really kudos to the city of Cortez. So I see some stickers on an exercise station here. You know, they want to have a multi-purpose field viewing. Not a lot of stickers on the skate park down there. Definitely some water features and focal points.
And there's a shaded lawn for any of the ones. And like, see, like, there's a bike thing for chairs. Exercise. I can finally get out, not before. What about multi-purpose field with viewing options? I mean, do you have walking?
What are you guys thinking? You want to comment? No? Don't be shy.
Flexible seating and
Structured playground. So this is Park Design A, geometric and dispersed.
and then it has like a shading and it has challenge course.
So they have another spot down here for you to put your stickers on. And they are color coordinated per your age group, as I'm showing you right here.
I like your hair. You say,
Park design option B, organic and condensed. Find the dots that represent your age. Place the dots on the image you like. And the last one over here is name the park. So it looks like we have a total of 61 options. I'm not going to read them all for you, but I'll kind of let you see. What do you think, sir? You have any good opinions?
South Park.
You like South Park?
Yeah.
Would it be like South Park, Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Is there any special features you'd like to see?
I think they're all listed, and I voted for the ones I like to see.
Cool.
I voted for B because it had included parking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed how they put it all together, and they've got a lot of information out, a lot of public opinions, and the options for surveys. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So the park is going to be on both sides.
Playground.
So Elma's just going to be. So they're not planning on putting any kind of water. Yeah, that's probably good. Where I live, all the kids see this is the survey feedback that they got.
Ooh, yeah.
I just don't know how, if this is, I mean, I realize that this is the property given to them, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting because of this. Well, they're going to need to put some water in as far as like to water all the yard and stuff. That's going to be pretty pricey right there. Whatever, because either one, they're going to have lots of trees and shrubbery and everything.
It just showed property line.
So we're about to do the drawing for the $100 gift card. Anyone who filled out the survey online has automatically been entered to win.
112 years old. She does a shot.
Unless you didn't give your name. That's exactly right. So anybody who put their email in. So I'm holding the microphone down and yelling. So I've got a website, shockingly, called Random Name Picker. And Jedediah is going to be broadcasting this live for who wins.
Yeah, I was just.
I obviously will not announce someone's email name, but
No, that's not mine.
basically, if you're not here today, we'll be getting a hold of you.
Let me get these out in the car.
Via your email. All right. Hey, Jedediah. So I'm not sure if you heard that part, but I'll repeat it. So we're doing now the drawing for the $100 gift card, a little bit of our incentive to get people to fill out our survey online. If you provided your email online, you are now entered to win. So I am putting all of those email names into a program that's basically called Random Name Picker, shockingly. And it was, so your odds are about 1 in, I think, 260 something. People provided their email. So, drum roll, anybody? Yeah, there we go. All right, we've got it. It's somebody with a hat with 2 T's. So, hat with 2 T's, we're going to be getting a hold of you. And you've won a $100 gift card. Congratulations. Thank you, and the rec center will be getting in touch with you to make sure that you get that into your hands. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the feedback via the survey. It's awesome.
Yeah, I just appreciate everybody that's turned out today, and we've had a lot of age groups represented from young to old, and it's just great to hear the feedback. And I think we're on a good path on what we've selected so far for park amenities, and for the most part I think people are pretty pleased with what we have before them, and now it's just getting that more finalized, and the prioritization still continuing on which ones rise to the top, and which part of the park we start with first, and what amenities we put in. So
what can folks look for next month for the final?
They'll be looking for a final design plan that they can give last input into, but they should be a final plan to roughly look at this is what it looks like. So I think it's kind of getting it to the last step in the process. So, yeah. All right.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us. I'm Jedediah with Mesa Media Productions, and we'll get this posted for you next month. Again, they're going to be doing finalities of the design, and be sure to, everybody, if you haven't taken the survey, go online to the cityofcortez.com, search for the survey there, fill it out, put your opinion in because it counts. All the opinions count. So this is Jedediah signing off. Thanks.